Okay, welcome to a class on mistakes with conditionals. If you would like to join this course and watch all the lessons, not just the first couple of minutes, then you need to join the courses on my website skype-lessons.com. There is actually a discount at the moment. It's live and learn with hyphens. Yeah, live and learn with hyphens, and that means you can get the course for £8. And that's lifetime membership, guaranteed. I make lots of new classes and you get to watch all the new classes from start to finish, and there are lots of quizzes as well. Okay, so there is a lot of confusion with conditionals, and it's partly because of something called false conditionals. I actually consider zero conditional a false conditional. If you want to know more about why, then I recommend watching the class on the grammar course called false conditionals. But basically it's when if means the same as when or whenever. If means when or whenever, it's not a real conditional because there's no condition. It always happens. When water reaches 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. If water reaches 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. It's the same thing. It's always true, so there's no condition. But we're going to deal specifically with the conditionals, first, second and third conditional. And if you obey these rules, most of the time your sentence will sound very, very natural. So I really recommend following this traditional first, second, third conditional rule structure. But I'm well aware that there are lots of natives that don't follow this first, second, third conditional structure, and in my opinion they sound incorrect. They would be certainly corrected by universities. So we're going to stick to this because this is how we always sound natural. So number one, if he ever submitted my attendance record to the principal, I might run into some problems. I might run into some problems, okay? Now, this student is an adult. The student who said this is an adult. He has actually worked at a school before. In fact, he knows who he is. He has worked at a school before, so he's not a pupil nowadays. And that's why all of this is referring to a hypothetical past moment. And hypothetical past is number 3, guys, isn't it? It's third conditional, which means we need had and the third form, if he had ever submitted my attendance record to the principal, and then we need would have and the third form, or any other modal verb. The might is a modal verb like would, which means that we only need to add a little have between might, have, run. I might have run into some problems, and then everybody understands that you are referring to the past. You're referring to when you were at school. And so the student really he should have used this form, and if he had used this form it would have been correct. Third conditional. Had he used this form, don't forget that in third conditional you can use inversion and get rid of the if. So you could say, he could have said, had I ever submitted my attendance record to the principal, I might have run into some problems. And I want you to remember that. You can say, if I had submitted, or had I submitted. I'll quickly write that up here. Don't forget inversion. If I had submitted is one way of saying it, but had I ever submitted is another way of saying it. Had I submitted